Now, I want to ask you about Jake Paul, as I'm sure you're not surprised by.
Of course,
we'll put it out as a separate video, so it makes more sense. So you get your own, the publicity you deserve as well. Not that you need it, to be fair. But yeah, he was in action again at the weekend. I guess first of all, what I wanted to ask you, last time we spoke, you said Tommy Fury's not the best cruiserweight we have to offer from a boxing perspective. Were you surprised though when he withdrew from the fight?
I was, but I wasn't. I believed he would fight. I believed that he just wouldn't be able to hold his nerve in the fight because it would be a lot of pressure. I didn't expect him to withdraw from the fight. Obviously, he's broken his rib. If he's broken his rib, he's broken his rib. Like I'm not one to be in a position to talk about whether people are injured or not. I've had my fair share. And I'm sure people have believed me sometimes and not believed me other times. But I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. I think Jake will still give Tommy the opportunity as much as he says he wouldn't, because it's still a way to get a boxer on his resume and an undefeated one at that. So I feel like if that opportunity comes up again, he will take it, but maybe we'll find another MMA guy in between. But to make that jump from MMA fighters to boxers, there's no better choice than Tommy for Jake.
There's a lot of people saying it's time he fights a boxer. If he doesn't fight a boxer next, we're going to stop watching, all that sort of stuff. I thought he might have got a pass after Tommy withdrew, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
No, the people always want something from you. And they say that they won't watch him if he doesn't fight a boxer. It's a complete lie. Because the moment the build-up starts for him versus Masvidal, for example, people will watch him versus Nate Diaz. Of course we're going to watch. Why wouldn't we watch? We want to see a fight. And it's entertaining. And that's what those guys bring to the sport. So we will watch him. It's just people want to see him lose. That's all it is. There's a difference between we want to see you fight a boxer now and we want to see you lose, so fight someone now that we believe can beat you. That's all the public always chase. And Jake, alongside his team, just like I say with mine, they know exactly what's right for him and his progression. They haven't made a step wrong so far with increasing the level of opponent. He's got through all of the opponents in great fashion, and that's how it should be. And I think we'll see him in there with a boxer when his team think that he's ready, not when the Twitter people and the Twitter promoters get out and start trying to play Eddie and these guys and Ben Shalom trying to get fights together.
The fanagers, as Steve Kim calls them.
Great name for him.
Are there any guys that you see in MMA, UFC, who would have the striking capabilities to give Jake Paul a real challenge in stand-up in a boxing ring?
There's definitely a few, but I would say it starts off with size. It definitely starts off with size, because there's no one at the top of my head that I can think of right now, but it starts off with size. Jake hasn't chosen a UFC fighter that competes in the light heavyweight division. In MMA is 205. So he's fought a lot of MMA guys that are welterweights.
Yeah.
That they fight at 170. So for me, I guess the jump wouldn't be let's go for a good MMA hand, a guy with good hands. Yeah. It's about going to someone from the actual weight category of which he competes in. But that is more, so he'd have to go more for the middleweight because he fights at 190. Jake seems to weigh in at 190, 191. So he'd have to fight a UFC middleweight, someone like Luke Rockhold, someone that he's known to box. And Luke Rockhold boxes a lot in the Mayweather gym in Vegas. It's part of Andrew Tabiti a lot of times. He's a good middleweight with good hands. Someone like Michael Bisping, if he could still fight, I understand he's got the eye injury, but to that's where we're going for now. Like, if you're going for a better opponent, don't fight the 170s, fight the 185s, people who actually have more size in comparison to you, and then maybe up the skill. Because we can't forget, these are guys, the guys that he's fighting are blown up. They know they used to compete at 170 to be their best. They fight in Jake at 189, 190. This is not their functioning athletic weight. But everyone can pick and poke. At the end of the day, he's only been boxing a couple of years, and he's fighting ex-world champions in their chosen discipline. That's what we really have to put the highlight on. But still keep the context. These guys are a lot smaller than him.
Has there ever been any talk? Has anyone ever reached out to you about potentially fighting Jake?
No one's ever reached out to me about fighting Jake. Jake has said online that he would fight me, but there's never been any official reaching out to say this or any offers or deals. And I always say it, I don't want one. I don't want one. I don't understand why everyone is so, well, I do, because of the money. But I don't need it. I don't need it. I feel like I've started my journey into boxing and as a professional already attached to the YouTube community. And I haven't coached KSI since 2019 and people still call me a coach. If I fight Jake, I'll just forever be known as the guy that beat Jake Paul to the majority, and I'd have to achieve, I don't even know how much in the traditional world for it to override the fact that I beat Jake Paul. And I don't want to have to deal with that, to be fair. I like seeing Jake go on his journey. It's good to see him. It's entertaining to see his nights where he's doing his thing. And I will have my own entertaining nights. I don't feel there's many cruiserweights out there, people. There's many cruiserweights out there. Don't just call on me because I coach KSI and you don't know any other cruiserweights. Do some research, check the list. I'm sure there'll be other cruiserweights you'd want to see Jake in there with. But it's not a thing for me. Honestly, it's really not a thing for me. If an official offer came through and it made sense at the time and I was maybe struggling in life and things like this, I'd take it. But besides that, I honestly like having him here and me here. And yeah, that works for me.
Now, before I let you go, I just want you to tell us about the picture in the background, if you don't mind, where you picked it up.
Which one?
The one directly behind you, the big one.
Oh yes, I got my Biggie poster there. It's actually a magnet. It's a magnetic poster, so it's like you literally just put a magnet on the wall and then just stick it over. It's a way to save all the drilling and all of that. So yeah, I got one of Ray Jones up there as well.
Are these kind of clues to your inspirations? Biggie Smalls and Roy Jones?
Big influences. They've got Biggie here, favorite rapper of all time, favorite boxer of all time. I've got apple pie over there, favorite dessert of all time. Right. And then in the corner, I got a quote from David Goggins because his mentality is ridiculous. So I felt like, yeah, it's important to have a little quote from him. And yeah, it just helps define me a little bit. And that was why I decided to design the room this way.
Great stuff. Really, really appreciate your time. I know there's a lot of demands, especially now you're training full time as well. Can't wait. February on the Amir Khan Kell Brook show, Sky Sports, box office, and promoted by Boxer, of course. Looking forward to it.
Yep. Exciting times. And it's going to be in Manchester. Hopefully by that time we still have crowds because things are looking a bit left at the moment. But hopefully the people can come out and watch me live for the first time in the UK as a professional, just do my thing. And we really start to see, my potential and what I have to bring to the sport.
Great stuff. Well, very best of luck on that journey and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you, Danny.
Take care.